got to remember, they're not talking to him. And he says he tries to listen to it, but he can't. He says he can't listen to it, listen to Katie talking about his son. It's so upsetting to him, it sounds like. Hello, everyone. Seth was seen on camera. Perhaps the Ellie thinks he's involved as his disappearance. No, I think the reason why they won't clear Seth is because if they clear Seth, it's really kind of going to cause even worse of a problem. I think Seth is honestly on the list because, one, they're not required to tell us who they're removed from the list, and I've never known law enforcement to ever remove a person from the list. They just put them on the lower on the list until somebody's actually arrested. That's what I've always been taught and told. But either way, however you look at it, if they were to publicly come out and clear Seth, it's not really leaving a whole lot to imagination. I think it would be a horrible decision for law enforcement. As hard as it is for Seth to go through this, I think that if they're still conducting a criminal investigation and they don't have enough evidence yet, the worst thing they can do is start clearing people off their list. Because what it's going to do is it's going to shake the fabric of this investigation. It's going to make people that are talking stop talking. Pool appears, or the persons of interest, and I'm going to say it because we are in an investigation. We absolutely know 100% law enforcement has confirmed we are in an investigation. So you don't really have an investigation without having something to investigate. So we are in an investigation. That had a whole lot of friends. The friends that he had at school were just friends at school that have all been questioned. Now, again, they probably haven't been cleared either. So I doubt the kids at the school did anything to him. But, again, nobody's been cleared. Okay? So we're also not thinking, again, nobody has been cleared. That means teachers, the teachers at his school, most likely have not been cleared. They're most likely on the list at the very bottom where Seth Rogers resides. Actions speak louder than words, Team Sebastian. Yeah, actions do. Let me ask you guys this. A runaway investigation we're in. You're not going to listen to me. So you need to learn that for yourself. And so I'm directing you to go find out the information for yourself so you don't put this stuff in people's chats. Because this is, in my opinion, they do other investigations. You're correct on that. But we're talking about this one. I don't know of any other investigation they would be doing on this case, if I need to clarify for you, Moody Paws. So hopefully that helps. But this case right here, I think we were out of a runaway and missing person case a long time ago. And as a matter of fact, we have corroborated information from law enforcement that it's no longer a runaway case. So, I mean, criminal investigation seen before with other. Okay, so yeah. Well, then you should, if you're in law enforcement, Muddy Paws, then you should know this, because I'm telling you, I've got a direct connect with several chiefs of or sheriffs of counties. So I don't know what law enforcement you play. But this is another thing where you could literally say you're anybody, and I have no way of corroborating it. So I'm sorry, I'm going to go by the people that I know wear a uniform and a badge and what they inform me of. Okay, that's where I reside. And I understand the policies and procedures in all these investigations. And if you are law enforcement, you should too. So, okay, well, you said you're law enforcement. You sound like you were challenging me. And I'm about to say, I know for a fact. Like, when I know for a fact, I know for a fact. Like, I've got, like, voted on county sheriffs in my Rolodex. Okay? So, I mean, you guys act like I don't know what I'm talking about and stuff like this. And I get it. But I do have sources. I do have people, that I've worked with politically that I can call and talk to about this stuff, and bounce things off their brains. So it's like, when it comes to that's why I'm so adamant when it comes to this stuff. Like, it's the behaviors of law enforcement. I understand that they have to say certain things out of their mouth, and I understand the word salad. And I understand how many. It's funny that I keep telling you guys don't understand how these press conferences go. That what they say, that's the reason why they have a paper, is because they have to say what's on that paper. They can't they interviewed Aunt Melissa. They interviewed Dara. From my understanding, they interviewed the kids. That's okay. Well, I never know. I'm always defensive anymore because these yahoos here on the friggin' streets of YouTube keep me defensive. I don't like it. Always coming in here trying to make me. I'm like, well, not today, Satan. They don't have to tell anyone exactly, and that they don't. But I disagree. I will always disagree with that statement. I don't think that that the public deserves to know information related to the integrity of the investigation. No, I do not. I absolutely do not believe that the public is entitled to that. But I do believe the public is entitled to something. I believe they're entitled to the courtesy and the respect of their sheriff and their sheriff's department, to act like they care about their community and to come out and give them a feel-good response, if nothing more. It's been 3 months. We haven't heard from that sheriff. We haven't heard from the deputy sheriff. We haven't heard from the lieutenant deputy sheriff or whoever the hell Eric Craddock is. We haven't heard from nobody. And I'm sorry, we are not entitled to the information related to the investigation, but we are entitled to our politicians and our representatives that we vote into office to acknowledge our existence, especially in time of need. And people are concerned because they're telling us on one hand that this kid walked away. They're telling us on another hand that they're in an investigation. There's other children in this community that if somebody is out there snatching kids, the community should know. The problem is we all know that's not the case. And that's why law enforcement has shut the hell up. We all know that their list is very short. We all know that. We can sit here and try to make everybody feel bad because, oh my God, everybody's entitled, innocent until guilty. Yes, but you have to be accused. There has not been one person I have yet to see to go to court that hasn't been arrested or accused of the crime before they're afforded the opportunity to be innocent before guilt. Because you know what? There's a lot of innocent people still waiting to go for the first appearance that are sitting in the locker. Just saying. I mean, they're innocent, right? Right? They're innocent until being proven guilty, but they're behind bars. How can somebody that has not been convicted of a crime be behind bars? My God! What is this world coming to? They're innocent. Let them go. They haven't been convicted yet. Shame on our justice system putting people away prematurely. He might have killed his girlfriend, but he hasn't been convicted of killing his girlfriend. You need to let him go. He's innocent. Doesn't matter that you caught him with the gun in his hand. He's innocent. Let him go. Give me a break. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Sounds ridiculous. First of all, why look for something that's not lost? Second, if you hide it, you know where it's at. That is true. Third, inaction equals guilt. Fourth, alcohol, antidepressants don't mix. Oh, didn't think about is she on antidepressants? Alcohol and antidepressants definitely do not go together. I know that for a fact. Seth is beating a pavement. He was at CrimeCon? Oh, that's great. That is awesome. I love to hear that. That place is so expensive. Like Olivia's there. I would be there, honestly. I would have spent the money to go. I would have been there. But I couldn't fly out there. I could drive. I could afford to drive and get a room, but I can't, and the ticket, but I couldn't afford to fly out there, rent a car and get a room and the ticket. So it was just one of those situations where it's just going to have to be next year, and I think next year will be awesome. I don't know where it's going to be, but wherever. Wherever it is, I don't care if it's in Hawaii, I'm going to be there. I've made my decision. Next year's the year. We're going to CrimeCon. By next year, it will be like its third or fourth year. So it's going to be really, really good. For $400, I hope they have fun. Yeah, it looked like it. See, I'm not one that goes into all those meetings and stuff, those rooms and listen to the story because I'll just leave it at that. I end up getting their story directly from them. So I've always gone around, and that's what I was telling Olivia, because I'm there, I've been to places like that. I don't really go into those meeting rooms. The only thing I do is I am constantly networking every time I'm there. Network. I get right in. I get to who I need to see. I network. And so remember, so Olivia was there and it was just starting out. And she's just like, she didn't really know anybody, mom's always, when mom goes with her, mom usually keeps her occupied. And when she gets a little, her and mom kind of do their own thing. They're in their own world and stuff like that. Well, apparently mom wasn't there. And so She got separated from her friends, and so she was just kind of standing there. And so she was like, I'm kind of bored here. And I'm like, well, go walk around, meet people. Everybody knows. She's like, I don't think anybody's going to know who I am. I'm like, come on, Chronicles of Olivia. You're Chronicles. Like, nobody knows who you are. Just a few million people. I'm like, go. And as I'm telling her this, somebody walks up to her and says, hi, Olivia. She's so cute. And she starts blushing on the phone with me. But right after that, or right before that, while I was just talking to her, she's like, oh my gosh. And so Brian was right there. And so Brian walks from in front of her around the phone and to say hi to me. And of course I'm laying in bed with my, I still had, I took the car to the mechanics yesterday. So I had my face done, my hair done. I was clean. I was just laying here and I got a package full of papers in my hand. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, court shit. He's like, oh, fun. I'm like, yeah, but it's always such a treat to see him because you guys don't understand. I know you guys see Brian Enton on the camera and you guys see him on News Nation and stuff like that, but he really is just a sweet guy. I mean, that temperament he has. On News Nation is his temperament he has in real life, but he's just a sweet doll. I don't know how to. Here, I'll tell you where he's at. I'm just joking, Brian. I'm just joking. Oh, Tanya, actions speak louder than words. Team Sebastian, how so true. Beatty. My sugar papa, I can't speak today. Can you fix my language, please? Can you fix my mouth? Probably a bad thing to be saying. We got church tomorrow. We'll pray for it. Betty, if it's true that Kay filed for divorce on an 8 year, I know. Misty, I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean, if that's true, if it's true and this was a spontaneous thing, I would have to think it was subconscious. Because I know that there's a funk I get into and I don't realize I get into it. It's a funk I get into every October 1st when my best friend died. And it was unexpected and it was really weird for me because I had found a feather next to my and I knew somebody because that the only time I ever see a feather, and it was like laying right there, like you like right there by my door of the car, like right there. And I pick it up and I'm like, somebody died. And I didn't, and he's like, oh, you blowing it off, right? And I held it and I felt really, really uncomfortable. And I'm like, somebody died. And so we went on to our day, and about 2:30 that afternoon is when Shantae called me to let they were wanting him to sit on the he's like in, he knows something major is wrong with him. He can feel it. He's still conscious. And they wouldn't move him until he got situated on this cart, correctly. And he's fighting with them, trying to get on this stupid cart so they can get him in the ambulance and get him off to the hospital. And she said it felt like 5 minutes they kept, and she finally just started screaming at him, just get him the hell out of the house, get him to the hospital and stuff like that. And but I didn't learn about this. It sounded like he lost his life like around like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It was early in the morning. I don't know exactly what time, but I didn't hear about it until that afternoon. But it was just creepy because that when I walked out, and then when we